Hey everyone, as I record this, it is midnight, or right after, on May 8th, 2016. And it's a very important day for several reasons. For one, this week commemorates a year at Best Buy, which is phenomenal. Doing great there. The most important thing is it's also Mother's Day, and some know, some don't. 7 years ago, March 12th, I lost my mother to breast cancer. She passed away at the age of 53, and that's a very young age to pass away from breast cancer. Took care of her from 2008 through 2009. Had a lot of help from some great people, amazing folks at the American Legion. Would give me a ride to Wegmans, to the grocery store, to CVS, anything I needed. We just would go and I'd be able to get anything I needed. It was a great time, and in that sense, just finding people that would help, and really made that time, as hard as it was, as enjoyable as it could possibly be, given that she had what we thought was going to be, the same as it was before. She had breast cancer, and she was diagnosed around Thanksgiving of '03, and they cut it all out in January of '04, and they did some further testing in April of that year, which is scary because it was lymph node testing, so they cut underneath the arm, and she never quite had 100% of her arm usage. It was just always tingly, and she could never quite get a good grip on things. And she also had neck surgery in '99, so it also kind of complicated matters. But she just always struggled with that, but she was able to be happy. And I'll never forget, in April of 2005, she went to Dallas and she got to see Robert Plant and the Strange Sensation live, and she booked a trip, went there, and got a front row seat because she told them her story, and they said, "Here, we'll give you a front row seat." And hindsight being what it was, I wish she'd taken more photos. I think we just had a single roll of film developed, and I'm not sure where any of that stuff is currently. Hopefully I find it one day. It'd be kind of cool. She always told me that she got to touch Robert Plant's hair, and it was a huge highlight. And one cool thing, when he did the album with Alison Krauss, she got to see the Grammys. She got to see him win all the Grammys. And when she passed away in March, I played Led Zeppelin because it was her favorite group. I played that through the whole 6 days for coma, and that was a tough week. Towards, I want to say, January, February, it's all giant blur. At the time, it was 1,000,001 crazy things happening per day, so it's all, a mishmash. But she was in the hospital in the ICU, and she was just in the bed all the time. And as it turns out, the cancer fluid had gone from her spine into her brain, and it destroyed her mental faculties, which is really scary. And it's one reason why I don't wish any kind of serious mental illness or brain damage on anybody. I saw my mom go through, I guess, just having, I'm not really sure what the technical term would be. The hospice nurse just said what most likely occurred is the cancerous fluid went to her brain, and it didn't give her brain cancer, but it gave her symptoms of it and destroyed her cognitive thinking. Where at the time she honestly talked like she was severely mentally challenged, and that was a scary thing. But we got through it, and then we got the news that she was cancer free, and that was I think January, February. I want to say February. And we went in and said, "We've got wonderful news. She's cancer free," and we're calling everyone and saying it's a miracle. She's cancer free, and then the damage was done. That's why early detection is so very important. She hadn't been tested for breast cancer in several years, and part of it was insurance, part of it was her feeling good, quote unquote feeling good, and feeling like she'd beaten the disease. You never truly beat cancer unless you stay on top of it. And she did all she reasonably could, but her death was so preventable if she just had a mammogram. And if they'd done every 6 months, they recommend a year, but every 6 months if you've had it before, And if she just kept it up, or if she hadn't felt it would be a financial burden, which is really the crux of it, it costs money. Um, she worked for ABC News, owned by Disney, great corporation, phenomenal death in the family plan there. Second to none, really. It does a lot to set you up for success. But it didn't really change things around, and they would only do one every year, and she missed an opportunity to get it because I forget what the circumstance, maybe she had to do a shift out of nowhere or something, but they'd always have a mamma van, and she just didn't do it one year. In '07, she just kept it secret that she was feeling really sick. It could have all just been the cancer spreading, because it's turned out it spread to her back, her ribs, possibly her stomach. She had a lot of stomach issues. But it just kept spreading, and she just had no idea. But then she went into a coma, and it was scary for me to deal with it, but I understood it more from a scientific perspective, thanks to the hospice nurse. And Capital Hospice was our hospice group. Hospice is a great company. I think I owed them $50 for a week of constant care, medication, around the clock, nursing, and training me to help take care of her, which was weird. But it was so very strange, but fascinating as well, because I was able to grieve. She was gone. I knew the second she went in a coma, that was it. She was here. Literally where I am, I'm on the couch here in my living room, and she was pretty much about a foot away from where my feet were in one of two hospital beds that we had set up. The insurance company paid for one that was this rinky-dinky, it looked like it was from the 70s, this like crank-operated, thin aluminum bed. It's horrible, and it was loud, and it was uncomfortable for her, and she's already in pain. Can we make it kind of comfortable? That was my thought, but of course, they got you. It's insurance. If you want it, you can get it, but it's not going to be very good. So hospice got her a better bed, so I had two beds here. And what was I talking about before? I trailed off. We had two beds. It was kind of weird. She was, she was lying there, and I was able to look at her and realize that she was blind at that point, and I could see the eyes going all black, which was weird and scary. I've got vision problems myself, and I was like, okay, this one day could be me. And I almost lost my vision in '02, and I realized at the time losing vision is not the end of the world, folks. It really isn't. It's not good, but you can still live a life and be happy. Which I didn't think was possible. But, so in a way I'm very glad everything happened the way it did then. But I was able to just take care of her in a different way and help ease her transition into the afterlife and allow her to pass on peacefully. And I got to play Zeppelin the whole time. And when she was doing chemo, I got a bootleg of the Zeppelin show in '02 at the O2 Arena, I should say. And I think it was 2007 or 2006. And she loved it. She watched it during her chemo sessions, and she would got all these Yardbird albums. And yeah, piracy is bad, but it allowed my mother to enjoy as much as she could chemo. And how do you put a price on something like that? It gave her peace. It gave her something to cling to in a time when she had nothing else to cling to. And since then, so many strange things have happened, and good and bad, but everything led to where I'm at now, which is in a very good overall place. I definitely have some work to do. I need to make sure I don't hold myself to an overly critical standard like I usually do. I need to remember that I deserve good things, and I deserve them for working hard, and that's my reward for working hard, is not so much good physical things, but the ability to pay the mortgage and pay other bills and try to get some freelance work going. I've been trying for years to get some paid work going, and I just have had no luck. And I'm not going to give up. I'll never give up. But I do need to definitely pare down my writing schedule a bit and be more selective. I've been doing that. I found a good medium the past few weeks. But I definitely want to get some paid gigs. I mean, even $10 an assignment is phenomenal. I do so much work. It's like that's a lot of money. That covers Uber. If I need to do a trip to Uber, it's 8 to work, 7 to work, 7 to 8 usually, and then 10 or more to get home. So that's 18 a day. Which for a 10-15 hour shift is not exactly gonna go very far. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm doing a job that, I wish I'd done sooner, but the opportunity wasn't there. It just wasn't presented. And I tried applying before. Let me zoom in here. This is horrifying here. I'm going way too far back. There we go. Let me tilt the camera a tad. There we go. It's a little better. There we go. So I mean, the opportunities never arose. I was applying, but I was applying for the wrong jobs. So I got this one. I'm happy with it. I love it. Great group of folks. I'm saying that 3 times fast. Thank God none of them like grapes. And they all make you better. And it means so much to me because we have these all-star meetings to be brought up as an example of what to do to excel at Best Buy, and really to excel at any job you do. Best Buy is what we do, is where we work. But when you work hard, that goes a long way. If you have holes in your game, recognize them and just try to work on them. For me, car audio may never be an expert subject matter for me. Gaming certainly, cameras, if you like cameras,